24th of June 2030. Close your eyes and relax the whole body and mind. Focus on the nose and trying to be aware of our breathing. The practice of mindfulness is to use only, without attachment. If there is desire to meditate or not, we must detach from that desire. Sometimes we may have desire to meditate and sometimes we may not have desire to meditate, but we must be able to meditate in both situations. Detachment from the pleasant desire is necessary to follow the middle way. When we are practicing meditation, we must pay attention to the truth to use only, without attachment. The aim of mindfulness should be to be free from attachment. We must not attach to ourselves. We must not attach to the practice of mindfulness. We must not attach to what we are practicing. The object of mindfulness is also to use only, without attachment. We can simply start from the object of breathing. Later on, we must be able to be mindful whatever appears in our body and mind. We must be skillful in the practice of mindfulness. Our mind will naturally focus on the object which is obvious. If the sound is evident, we must be mindful to the sound and we must try to detach from the sound. Mindfulness to the same objects without paying attention to the others is also necessary for us. If we feel bored or unpleasant, we must be mindful to that feeling and we must try to detach from that feeling. We must understand mindfulness is not only for us, not only for this place, not only for this time. The practice of mindfulness is not only for the life of meditator, but also for our daily life. If we don't know like this, we may pay attention to ourselves, to the place, to the time. We must be able to be mindful freely. We must understand we are always making mistakes in our practice of mindfulness. By practicing the continuous mindfulness, we must try to correct our mistake one after another. We must know our mistake and we must be able to correct the mistake. We must be able to be mindful to the energies of softness or hardness, tightness or looseness, hotness or coolness, and movements or stillness. We must also be detached from these energies. We can be mindful to one object in one moment. We must try to detach from that object. We must also be able to be mindful to the power of feeling, recognition, creations, and consciousness. Every mindfulness should be followed by detachment. To be doing only, we should try to abandon our habits and our desire. The practice of mindfulness and detachment is to practice alone and to practice with the other people. If we practice freely, we will be able to practice freely. All the right and wrong experience are also to experience only, without attachment. We must know the middle way, and we must try to follow the middle way. Following the middle way can solve every problem. Mindfulness is important. Without mindfulness, we cannot detach. But mindfulness alone is not enough. Mindfulness must be followed by detachment. We are used to adapt to what we know. So also we must detach from what we know. The practice of mindfulness and detachment is necessary in any way, anytime, anyone, and any situation. Who I am, where we are, what we are doing is not important. Only mindfulness and detachment is important. Someone or everyone, something or everything, sometime or every time, somewhere or everywhere are to use only, not to attach and not to reject. We are using ourselves with attachment. We are doing our action with attachment. We are knowing ourselves with attachment. To do only, to know only, to experience only, to use only is necessary for everyone. If we can detach from attachment, doing will be doing only, using will be using only, knowing will be knowing only. Doing itself is right. Attachment is wrong. Knowing itself is right. Attachment is wrong. Using itself or using only is right. Attachment is wrong. The practice of mindfulness is necessary to know the pleasant attachment. Whatever appears in our mind and body will disappear by itself. Because of not knowing like this, we are always busy with our body and mind. We may be angry sometimes. Whatever appears in our mind will disappear by itself. We need nothing to do except detachment. The practice of mindfulness and detachment is the key to solve all the problems. We will share our merits. May all merits we have done till now be dedicated to all sentient beings. May all beings rejoice and share in our merits.